Okay guys, so for this lesson you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil. I don't care what kind of paper, figure it out, but go get a piece of paper. Hey guys, so as we discussed in class, we're going to be converting percents and decimals and fractions into one another. So you need a piece of notebook paper. Any paper will do. We're going to do kind of a jimmy rig foldable. It won't be pretty, but it will get the job done. We're going to have 6 different sections in this foldable because we have percents that we can convert to 2 things, decimals that we can convert to 2 things, and fractions that we can convert to 2 things. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a piece of notebook paper or any paper that you have lying around the house, fold it in half, open it back up, and then fold these guys in to the halfway mark. And then I'm downstairs in my basement. I don't have any scissors here. I need 3 sections, so two rips. So we do kind of a nice little rip here. Yeah, that'll do. And then one here. I'm going to keep going because the nice thing is if you're not done, you can pause the video. Okay, on the outside of your foldable, we're going to write what conversions we're doing. So the first ones we're going to do is percent to decimal. Okay. On the inside, we're going to write the rule. So when we're converting percents to decimal, so let's say we have 50% of a dollar, that's going to be 50 cents. I write that as a decimal by moving the decimal 2 places to the left. Okay? You can also think of it as dividing by 100. Now some examples of this. If I have 18%, I move it 2 places to the left, 1, 2. This is now 0.18. %, I move my decimal 2 places, 1, 2. I have 0.27. And let's say you have 4.5%. I'm going to move this decimal places 2 places, 1, 2. So my decimal is going to be 0.45. Okay. So percents to decimals, you're moving your decimal place 2 times to the left, always twice. On the other side, let's talk about percent to fraction. Now, percents are always out of 100%. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the percent as numerator and 100 as the denominator. Percents are always out of 100. You can have more than 100%, but they're always out of 100. So an example, if you have 18%, that is 18 over 100. Now notice that 18 over 100 I can simplify. So our last step here is always going to be to simplify. Okay, so 18 and 100 are both divisible by 2, so I end up with 9 over 50. If we have 27%, it's going to be 27 over 100, and I can't reduce that one. 4.5% is 4.5 over 100. You can leave the decimal there. Okay. So percents to decimals, moving it 2 places to the left. Percent to fraction, putting it as a fraction over 100. Now, in the middle section, we're going to do decimal to fraction. Okay. To move a decimal to a fraction, you say the proper naming and write as a fraction. So for example, if we have 0.18, we say this, to say this correctly, we would say this is 18 hundredths. And so I write it as 18 hundredths. And again, I can reduce. Let's add that here. Okay. 27.27 again would be 27 hundredths. Now, if we have this number, we would call this 4/10. And so we write it as 4/10. Okay. One way to remember, give yourself a little extra here. However many places, that's how many zeros. What I mean by that is if you'll look, this has 2 places, 1, 2 after the decimal. So in my fraction, I use 2 zeros. This has 2 places after the decimal, 1, 2. So my fraction has 2 zeros. It's always a 1. It's tenths, hundredths, thousandths. This one has 1 place after the decimal. So I have 1 0. So that's decimal to fraction. The other one would be decimal to percent. It's the opposite of this one. So to go from a percent to a decimal, you move the decimal 2 places to the left. To move the decimal to a percent, you move the decimal 2 places to the right. Always 2 places. Okay. So, 53 hundredths, 0.53, we move it 2 places, 1, 2, and this is 53%. 0.75, 1, 2, we have 75%. 4.6, we move it 2 places, 1, 2, I need to fill in that place with a 0, we have 460%. Remember, 1, the whole number 1 is 100. So if you have 4 as a whole number, then you're going to have 400. Okay, 2 places, always 2 places. 2 places to the right, decimal to percent. 2 places to the left, percent to decimal. This is the same thing as multiplying by 100. Okay, 2 more to go. We have fraction to decimal. We've talked about this one before. This is where the brother climbs up the tree and falls into the house. So in order to do this, you divide numerator by denominator. Okay. or like I like to say, top divided by bottom. Top divided by bottom. So 1/2 in my calculator, I'm going to put 1 divided by 2, or if I'm writing it, if I'm solving it myself, the one on the top is the idiot brother that climbs the tree and falls into the she shed. Remember, we are going to add the decimal because we can't divide. Add the decimal up top, and now divide. 2 goes into 10 5 times, so this is 0.5. For these assignments, you are welcome to use a calculator. If I have 1/8, it's the same as 1 divided by 8, 1 divided by 8, top divided by bottom. In your calculator, you put 1 divided by 8, and here you get 0.125. Top divided by bottom. Okay. And the last one is kind of a combination of all of them, or a few of them. We're going to go fraction to percent. This is how I calculate grades constantly. So in order to do this, we're going to go fraction to decimal and then decimal to percent. So as a fraction, the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to divide top by bottom, just like we did here. Okay? Divide top divided by bottom. Then that's going to give me a decimal. So I use this rule, decimal to percent, and I'm going to move that decimal place 2 places to the right. So what this looks like is, say we have 3 out of 4, 3/4. I'm going to first divide top divided by bottom, and I get 0.75, and then I move the decimal 2 places to the right. 1, 2, so this is now 75%. 2/5. I'm going to do 2 divided by 5, and I get 0.4. Move it 2 places to the right. I'm sorry, I said left over here. I meant right. 2 places to the right. 1, 2. Notice I'm going to need a placeholder, so this is going to end up being 40%. I wanted you to make this foldable before you start your assignment so that you can use this as a tool to help you. Okay? Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.